If the cell is a light on fire, you're burning to death alive, mate. And that was my biggest fear.
Yes, I don't want a lot of things that scared me in that place, but one thing that really scared me more than anything, it weren't getting beaten up, it weren't being stabbed, it weren't being any of that. There's one thing that scared the life out of me, and that was burning alive in them cells. Because you used to see them when you first went in there. You used to see like the cells burnt out and that. And when you start living in there for a while, you realise that no one's coming for you. There's a last head check at about 9, 10 o'clock. Probably earlier than that if I remember rightly. And that's it. There's no buzzer. You can't call to anybody. That is it. No one is coming for you. And I had this cellmate. I've said a lot of stories about this fella before. Carlos, old Spanish fella. He was wild, mate. Crazy, crazy man. He was in there for killing his wife with a claw hammer. He had to have a handful of pills every single day just to keep him from killing everybody. Paranoid, schizophrenic, wild. And I'm in a cell with this man at 22. So the thing that scared me about him, he was so neglectful. He would fall asleep with a cigarette in his hand. And he had burn marks all over his sponge mattress. And I know if that caught a light, that's it. The cell was going up and there ain't no getting out of it. I was always on edge when I was living with him. But there was a crazy story when he never had them pills. I had a cellmate who was living with us at the same time. It was George, his name was, a Romanian lad. He was at the bottom bunk. Carlos was in the middle and I was at the top. And that's nothing out of, like, I'm the big man at the top of the bunk. Nah, man, you had about this to the wall. So you had blood all on the wall, people wiping boogers all up on the top. It was fucking disgusting. It wasn't a good place to be. When he couldn't get his medication, me and George had to stay awake and take turns through the night, staying awake to keep an eye on this motherfucker. He was pacing up and down the cell. He was twitching. So the moment he went in his bunk, me and George was taking turns watching him. Anything that was sharp and it was in the cell, we were slyly throwing it out onto module 1. Because our cell overlooked module 1, which was a Wild West down there. It was. I'm glad whatever was going on in that module, I'm glad I weren't put in there, because it was wild motherfuckers getting stabbed every day. So I just threw him some more weapons, bro. Like that. All the little razor blades and shavers and shit. Anything that could stab me or George or kill us in the night was out of the cell. So yeah, that went on for, I think it was about 3 days, 2-3 days where he had no pills and he was like that. It was scary, man. I didn't want to find myself in a position where I was smoked out in a cell and I couldn't get out and I'm burnt alive. That was my biggest fear about being in that prison. It's hell on earth, mate. And don't let anybody tell you different, as I say, but you know, some people can have it better than other people. I didn't have it as bad as a lot of people in there. I was lucky, very, very lucky. I was taken under some gangsters' wings who were pretty much running the module in there. I was taken under their wing and I was lucky that they did take me under their wing, because, you know, from the moment I got in there, I was a fucking target. The functionario, like the screws, the Spanish screws, they really tried to break me down, you know. They put me in a completely different wing with the matey that could, you know, Carlos and another, a pedo matey. Yeah, not a good situation, you know, but listen, got through it. Switched it all up, man, living my best life. I don't know where Carlos is these days, probably dead, to be honest with you. You know, that fella like him, mate. To be honest with you, I doubt he even made it out of Funkerland. I bet you he's still in there now. Carlos was just one of the cellmates I had. I've got plenty of stories of all my crazy cellmates. If you want to hear more stories on that, let me know in the comments. But tell me, what would you have done if you saw Carlos rattling? What would you have done? Let me know. Come on, there you go.